I will say this though, if Spence is at least 60% of himself, I believe he will beat Tim Tszyu. What's good YouTube, Joybox here, and I'm back with another video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you subscribe. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, one of my favorite fighters, one of the best fighters of 147 of this era, Errol Spence Jr., is set to come back against the Aussie himself, Tim Tszyu, son of legend, Hall of Famer, Costa Tszyu. I want to give you guys a summary of what's going on right now, and I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break down the positives, the negatives, the good, the bad, the evil, and eventually we're gonna make that fight prediction. So, off rip, I'm just gonna say it, I don't like this fight. I think Earl's been out the ring for 3 years now, maybe he's coming to 4. His last fight was, you know, Terrence Crawford, all right? It was kind of hard to forget. I haven't seen a beatdown like that, all right? I was watching it pay-per-view with my brother. We're big Spence fans. We're sitting there hoping shit's about to be all, you know, we're like, Spence got this, he's gonna beat him. And then, you know, mayhem happens. But it's been 3 years since that tragic day. I try to forget that day, but Spence is back. He recently went on Andre Ward's podcast, and off rip, I want to say this from the Andre Ward podcast. What he did not make no excuses. All he did was tell the truth. This is stuff that happened in his camp. Yes, there's no one to blame. I don't think he blamed Derek James. He came on Twitter later saying that don't blame Derek James. A lot of things played a part in this, with the drinking outside of boxing, the undisciplinedness. A lot of things led to this situation. There's no one else to blame but Spence. So these aren't excuses, but at the same time, man, the people were saying they are, like, did you expect it to take it to the grave? Fighters always, at the end of their careers, they'll make books. They'll tell you about the best parts of their careers. And us as fans, I want to hear it. I want to hear what you were thinking when he was, you know, when a dude was like hitting you outside your head, or like, why did you look this way when, you know, like we know deep in our hearts, we know that something was wrong with Spence, man. I don't want to make this whole video about that, but like, as fans, like, we can't be all shocked when the truth comes out, when it's like, bro, we knew, like, I don't know what that performance was. That was the worst performance I've seen from him. Going off that podcast, man, a lot of stuff was said that you don't want to hear. He said he's looking at vacation spots in Australia already before the fight even happened. And yeah, I just really think that's bad signs. But at the same time, the greats can get away with talking like this. The greats can get away with 1 foot out the door acting like this. Just look at Andre Ward. Look at Floyd Mayweather. Look at Terrence Crawford. The greats, you know, even though they have 1 foot out the door, sometimes they can get it done. Now, is Earl one of them greats? I think he's a great fighter for what he's accomplished in the past. Those fighters, those greats who pulled it off, they didn't go through a car crash. They didn't go through a car crash. They didn't go through eye surgery. They didn't go through a beatdown like what he did. So even though some of them get away with it, it's not looking good. Let's start with the positives. So the positives, he said on the podcast, well, when he fought Crawford at 147, he felt depleted and weak. And this fight will be at, I think, 160. I'm not too sure, but it's above 154. It's not 154. A positive will be him being healthier. He wouldn't have to cut weight. And we never know, like, back in the day, it was possible he overstayed his welcome at 147, because he's been a career-long 147 the whole time. He's not a small guy. So eventually, you know, I think he outgrew it. So I think this will be a good positive for him. Another positive can be maybe Tim Tszyu is underestimating him. Yes, Tim Tszyu will go for the kill, but he also probably believes that this is not the same Spence. If I'm looking at that public workout, I'm like, you know, I'm rubbing my hands. So that can possibly be another positive for Spence. Maybe he's underestimating him, and, you know, he's gonna be in for a rude awakening. Another thing, Tim isn't this perfect undefeated fighter too, all right? He got stopped last year by Fundora. He got stopped, that might have been 2 years ago, with the IBF champion. Oh, it was bad. Like, If you thought the Spence one was bad, Tim didn't even make it 8 rounds like Spence did. It was, that's another positive I could say in Spence's favor, because Tim is not 100% fresh, just like him, which in a way, it's a good fight. It's kind of a good matchup, right? Now, if it was prime Spence, I would say I would pick him without a doubt. I would think this is a stylistic alley-oop, which it is, which is another positive I'm getting into. Tim don't move his head outside the center line, and he's not a crazy puncher. And we know Spence, prime Spence, would be very durable, and activity would eventually drown him. But things have changed, and we do not know how durable Spence is. But nevertheless, the stylistic matchup, I think, is a positive for Spence. Another positive could be looked at as a negative, but he's had 3 years off. When you're that beat up and it seemed like his body was falling apart since the car crash, from the interviews, the eye surgery, all the other stuff he's been going through, the rib injury, 3 years could possibly have done his body some good, because he's been training hard for years, and it's possible he could be a lot fresher now. Who knows, maybe the 3 years did him good and he's nice and fresh and ready to go, and he just has. Now let's break down the negatives. In the interview, and also in, I believe, in the first press conference, Spence pretty much said his foot is out the door. Again, I said it already, some of the greats can get away with it, but as a fan, that is not what I want to hear. That is not what you want to hear. There's already fans who believe that Spence wasted their money, wasted their time, wasted their tickets and everything going into a fight with Crawford compromised. So when they hear that vacation talk and 1 foot out the door talk, they might be thinking, oh, this is just a money grab. He's just here to collect a check again. So I don't like that he said that. It's not a good look, and it's very understandable for the people who spent money on the Crawford Spence fight to be looking at that negatively. Again, what I said was a positive can be looked at as a negative too. Yes, he was depleted at 147. Yes, he might have overstayed, but this is also a new division he's never been in before. Tim has been here his whole career. This is not a weight he's not used to. I think it will do Spence good. Me personally, I think the weight will do Spence good. I remember Floyd came in an interview one time saying that, oh, he believes Spence should be at 160, like 168, like he had a high projectile. And because I think Spence is not really a small guy. He's a pretty big guy from what I've seen. He has good reach and everything, so it could be looked at as a negative if you want to go there. Now this one's an obvious one. Tim is younger. He has more pop in his punches. He's looked a little more fresher. He's been more active. He had 2 tune-up fights not too long ago. Spence, this is his tune-up fight pretty much. Another negative I can think of is the public workout with Spence. Off first thought and off seeing prime Spence, this is clearly a far cry from the old Spence. It's not the worst I've seen, but if you wanted to watch his public workout in order to gain confidence in him winning the fight, I don't think it did the job. Another disadvantage is Tim has no mercy. Tim has no mercy. I've seen this someone in a similar situation as Spence, Tony Harrison, someone with more pedigree, someone with more experience, but was older and I don't want to say the word, but washed. He was kind of washed, and Tim annihilated him. He made sure, I'll say this, if Spence doesn't belong in the ring, Tim is gonna show that in the worst way possible, and it's not gonna be pretty. I might have to look away. If it gets that bad. Another one that could be looked at as a positive and negative again is his trainer. He has a new trainer. That also means new eyes in the camp, new things they can work on. He looked like he was working on head movement now that Derek didn't amplify, but at the same time, it's a new trainer. You've never worked with them before. They don't know your weaknesses. They don't know your strengths. They don't know how to get you going. There's a lot of stuff they don't know, which usually takes 3 or 4 fights for them to really get in the groove and really settle as your trainer. He might get a fresh look, but he also might overload Spence. We don't know because he hasn't been with them that long. Just look at Deontay Wilder and Malik Scott. Malik Scott was giving Wilder all the information in the world, but little did we know the simple 1-2 that Mark Breland was teaching him was way more effective, and it really brought out Wilder's strengths. You can't overcomplicate a mind like Wilder, but he didn't know that, and so he's teaching him all this slip stuffs and all that stuff, and all it ended up doing was like kind of freezing Wilder, because there's so much options in his mind, he doesn't know what to do. But back when he was with Breland, it was just 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. It was predictable, but that was his shot, and it worked really well. It was really effective. So from after absorbing all the data, doing all the calculations, throwing it in the machine, I hate to say this, but my conclusion for this fight, it would be Tim Tszyu by knockout. I will say this though, if Spence is at least 60% of himself, I believe he will beat Tim Tszyu like he should. And I don't know why he's the favorite. I think it's more so Spence fans, or like me, like Spence fans, were like more so hoping he wins rather than thinking logically and putting the negatives and the positives together and coming up with the conclusion that he will win. So yeah, on paper, using your brain, Tim Tszyu's the winner by knockout. But when it comes to our hearts, Errol Spence, maybe he'll come through. Maybe he'll go into that well and dig up one more nice performance for us and sail off to the sunset. One can only hope. All we gotta do is wait and see. But let me know in the comments, who do you guys have winning, Tim Tszyu or Errol Spence? Now that's it for today's video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.